What's good, everybody? Shout out to Commenter Nation, greatest nation since United Nations. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. You know the vibes. All right, let's get into it. Now, what just happened? If you guys don't know, they released Matthew Perry's cause of death. All right. Now they're even playing with that because the cause of death was ketamine, and that's the facts. But then they added all of his health things. Understand, ketamine is used recreational by certain people, but understand, mainly it's used for depression medicine and it's used medically. So the question was this prescribed to him? And if this wasn't prescribed, then there should be an investigation into the doctor that gave him this prescription medicine because ketamine is nothing to play with. That's why he overdosed, because he wasn't monitored by somebody who was closely watching and he was abusing it. And because he abused this drug, now this man's gone. And as the more I look, seeing the bat signal and stuff, I'm confused because with ketamine in the system, you knew what you were taking and you hopped in the pool in the backyard and you drowned. Like, you don't mess around with ketamine and drugs that are like that. Though actually ketamine is used in designer type drugs, like stuff that's created in a basement. Like, it makes no sense. There was no need for you to do a drug like that without any type of thing. Even though they say it's recreational, most people don't have control over amounts, just like the people that make up drugs in our basement. You don't know what amounts of anything they're putting in, neither do they. They're just putting in an amount that they put in normally and serving it up. Like, even if we think of things and they said it was overdose of coke or something of that nature, the purer it is, the more dangerous it is. So what I'm getting from this is a celebrity abused medicine, and I'm curious to know if it was prescription. That I cannot find, because if it's prescription, that doctor should be in trouble, depending how much was found in the system, because it doesn't take much to overdose on these designer drugs out here. That's what most people don't talk about. It doesn't take much. All it takes is a little bit more. See, that's the thing. People don't even know about fentanyl, which they use commonly in the basement drug designers. Here's the difference between me and a lot of people. I know a handful of people that overdosed very, very fast, and they did all type of drugs. But when you get fentanyl, like, go ahead, trip up and run into a drug that doesn't have ketamine but has fentanyl, you're going to sleep, my guy. You guys are going to go to sleep. It is not a game. It's like, man, me being knowledgeable about medical things and medicines and stuff, it just confused me why people even search out these things, because these will take your life fast. You have too much ketamine, it'll take your life fast, and you can't measure it out. Someone give it to you. There's no way for you to measure it to know how much is in it. That's the thing. People aren't able to test what they're doing, test the drugs they're getting, and they're overdosing on it because of these idiots out here creating it in a basement that aren't measuring it correctly. And they're not a scientist. They're not a doctor. And if it is a doctor and this guy overdosed, that's why I want to know, was it prescription? Because the level of milligrams clearly tells you if it was too much or if he took too much. And if he had a problem like that, showing a bat signal ain't going to help, sir. You need to see a psychiatrist so they can look into your head, because the ketamine is used for depression and other things like that, mainly depression and stuff. If you were depressed like that, it would have made sense that you had a psychologist overseeing you taking this medicine. It's a psychotropic type medicine that deals with the mind. Understand, these medicines, like pills, all pills interact with your nervous system. Anything that interacts with your nervous system, you can overdose. That's just a fact of life. These things I thought everyone knew. See, I'm saying this stuff, but I thought everybody knew this. Like, it's like, how studied is everybody? How wise is everybody? How don't you know this? And you're doing it. Pills or anything that's not natural enters your nervous system. Even the ones that are natural, they go through your nervous system. Once your nervous system is affected by something that potent at a high level, it's almost sure to overdose. That's why people got to be very careful. You got to be wise. You can't be just doing whatever. Like, even if you got to connect, because I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I know different dudes who literally purposely tried to overdose people. One of them was a friend of mine, and I went hunting for him, literally hunting for him. So this is what I'm saying, and we're gonna leave that story at that. But I eventually got a hold of him, and I'm gonna just say that you guys gotta think this stuff is serious, and I was upset. But the thing is, I can't be mad because my friend chose to do it. Like, my thing is, even so, you trusted a loser who claimed he knew what he was doing, and that's what led to it. Matthew Perry, whoever he got it from, if it wasn't a doctor, they need to be in jail, because anytime anything happens in a black community, they go hunting for the dealer. Why aren't you hunting for his dealer? So it's okay because Matthew Perry was a Friends co-star, and we're just gonna blame him and go ahead. We're not going to try and figure out how he got it, who got it for him. Remember, because allegedly someone was helping him get these things. Allegedly, this is what was declared when we were first looking into his death, because people said he like drowned. They're like, how? And they said like, well, he kind of like was inebriated. But that's the thing. He was inebriated. They know it. But they're trying to mention his own health defects. But none of that has to do when you overdose. None of that had to do with him overdosing. He had ketamine in the system. And they're like trying to play it down like they're protecting someone. Nah, whoever got him that, they need to be in jail. Because you would, if there was an African American that overdosed, y'all rush these men to jail when you find them. So this guy's not going to go to jail at all? Whoever it was, this girl or gal or dude, like, come on now. This is favoritism. This isn't right. Y'all should be out there hunting for how he got it. That's why I asked, was it prescription? Because that doctor needs questioned. How much did he give him? And how wasn't he getting checked, whether he was abusing or not? Understand, when you do prescription drugs, they test your blood, they test your stuff, they look into your body. He wasn't going and getting regular checkups when he was prescribed this medicine. Because remember, allegedly it was prescription. So that's why I'm asking, was it prescription? This is a very big question, because this is going to come to terms on what actually happened to him and why. It's because these dudes are so hard up on chasing the high, they're not looking at the dangers that are ensued with it, like personal error, people error. These people that are selling these things, making these things, are not doctors. They're not medically inclined, because when you go to a hospital, they know, for instance, let's just talk about fentanyl. When you go to a hospital, they already know there's an amount they got to give you. They don't even just give you fentanyl. You can't smoke it. They're giving you a fentanyl drip, because the drip is controlled, and you can't even pull more out. Even if you're in pain, you are limited to how much you can do. That's how potent it is. That's why you don't mess with these designer drugs. That's why you don't get involved with stuff outside of your control. Your nervous system, once it's shut down by these things, there's barely any coming back. I have a handful of people I know that overdose from when I was young to at this age now. And it's because they're not getting things the proper way. And if it was spiked, they need to hunt down. First off, you need to do fingerprinting on the bottle. If it's not only his fingerprints on it, you need to go pick up whoever else's fingerprints are on it. This is crazy. This is what I'm talking about. You guys know what to do when it comes to African Americans and stuff out in the hood, but you don't know what to do for a guy like this. Come on, man. Come on. This is cut and dry. Why aren't you chasing down the name on the bottle? Because if it's prescription, or why aren't you trying to figure out his last phone calls, who he texted and had any conversation about the ketamine with? Can y'all please do a thorough investigation? Please be fair on this. This is crazy, man. This is insane. All rights reserved. This is wild, fam. Makes no sense. None. It's like the dumbest thing ever.